Alright, I'm going to be teaching you how to remove the brake, to change your brake lights for a Nissan Altima. Mine's 2010. First, you're going to start off by taking off these plastics that hold the carpet lining in place. There's two that are at the far end. They look like this once they've been pulled out. When they're in, it looks like this. What you want to do is you want to get a flathead screwdriver to pull out this pin that holds the whole thing in place. It's going to come out like this. Once it comes out like this, you're able to remove it by hand. You don't want to put your screwdriver on the bottom of the plastic pins while it's still inserted and try to pull it out like that, because you will break them. You want to make sure they pop out like so. And once it's like that, they're fairly easy to remove. Like I said, it's two of them. And then you got this one bigger one. It's the same thing. You have to get this. Give me one sec. All right. You as you can see, I released it so y'all can see this pin comes out, which makes this right here more flexible, so it could be easily pulled out. When it's inserted like so, it makes it opened up and you won't be able to pull it out like this. You have to make sure to pull out this pin first, and then the whole thing will come out. Once you remove all three pins, plastic pins, you'll be able to pull your carpet free, your carpet lining. And you put that back down. And then you're gonna have these harnesses that are attached to these screws. You're gonna release those out, which I've already done that. I don't know if you can see in there. There's just little plastics that kind of hold it by pressure. You're gonna just get your flathead screwdriver and try to release them out there. They won't break. They come off pretty easily. And finally, you're gonna, once you have those removed, you're gonna see that there's some screws that or bolts that need to be removed. That's what holds your light in place. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those. All right, here I am removing the bolts. All right, you want to try to keep all these in a spot so that you don't lose them. You just put them right there. You got the other bolt. Remove that. Put them right there. All right. Once you have those bolts removed, come to your light and just lift from the bottom. It comes out fairly easily. Alright, once you get that out, you see that's where the two screws were in place. You got one nut, I'm sorry, and the other one right here, which is these right here. Once you get that out, you're able to go ahead and flip out your rear light and change whichever it is you need. I'm in particular gonna change my brake light, so it's this one right here. You just turn once, it'll click, and that comes right out. Alright, here I've already taken out the burned out bulb. I don't know if you can see in there, it's one of the little wires is loose, and that's why it's not coming on anymore. But now I'm gonna replace it. I actually bought these at AutoZone. I'm not saying that's where you could buy them. I mean, you can find them at Walmart, pretty much anywhere where they sell parts for cars. I went to AutoZone because I could just go to the desk and ask them, and they give it to me. I don't have to worry walking around and looking for it. And you just insert that back in there. Okay, here I've already put my new light bulb in. And once you, same thing, you're gonna see these little plastic, I guess you could say little locks. You make sure you fit them in exactly. It'll come in. There's no pressure needed for them to insert, and then you just turn it, and that locks it into place. It's the same thing with all of these. You turn it once, and they're able to come out fairly easy. Turn once. Yeah, that one needed a little bit of pressure, but same concept. You just turn it, and it releases them. There's actually, if you read y'all's, I didn't notice this. I'll go ahead and point it out. If I can get it to zoom, I don't know if you're able to read that, but it actually says which way to lock and which way to unlock. So this way locks it. You lock them like this. You unlock them like this. You can see that clearly where it says lock, and it has little arrows pointing which way you want to turn. Leave that in place. It keeps moisture out. Alright, then one thing I didn't mention, there's these little plastic, I guess you could say little plastic clips that clip on. When you're pulling your light out, you want to try to release it from the bottom so you can release these two where your bolts were, and then take it from the top and pull it straight out. You don't want to release from the bottom and pull straight up, because you're going to break these plastics. You release from the bottom and then you pull straight out from the top, so that these two little plastics can come straight out. They're held in by pressure. I'm going to go ahead and put the light back in. Alright, I got my light in. Basically, you just want to make sure that those little clips line up with each slot where they're supposed to go into. And there's no pressure needed. You just apply slight pressure, I should say, and everything goes back into place. You got your two nuts were. Go ahead and put those back in. This is the first time I take this side out, so it was done by the factory. They were put in fairly tight. I needed pliers. I guess I recommend that, since this is really not a place where it's very exposed to for you to lose these nuts, I would that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just tightening them up by hand pressure, and once you get those in, like I said, I just put them in by pressure from my own fingers so that I could take them out in the future. Then you're gonna get these clips and put them back into place. You can hear them as they snap back on. Alright. And this came with two lights. I only needed to change one, so that's done. Sometimes, and I remember this from my other light on the other side, which I changed in the past. The little wires that I was talking about on the inside, they won't look like they're burned out. It'll just be something else in the what should I say, the mechanic or whatever of the light that goes out. Sometimes it might be like, well, it doesn't look like it's burned out, but if it's not going on, I'd go ahead and change it so you won't get pulled over. And that's pretty much it. You take your clips back and if it's, see like mine, since right now when I was showing y'all I actually closed this one, so I'm gonna open it up. You want to make sure that it's in the open position when you insert it. Once it's inserted, you go ahead and push it in, and there you go, it's nice and tight again where how it's supposed to be. Same thing with these other